Hello there, and welcome to a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I hope you're all having a pleasant time. Booting off from the PlayStation 4 main menu because, well, just going to quickly talk while this is all going on in the background. Had a bit of a disaster with Part 3 the last time I tried to record, so now we're on doing Part 3 again. I've had to re-record because in typical Elgato Game Capture HD fashion, something fucked up in editing, so now I have to re-record Part 3, and, well, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully nothing will go wrong this time. So I had to make a second save slot because I got to the Beastmakers, 100% completed that, did Misty Bog and Wild Flight, but it doesn't matter. So I'm now having to restart the bastard thing over again. So, on to save slot 2 this time. We're still in the Magic Crafters, we'd still just done only one level, which I think was Wizard Peak. And I must admit I've been eager to return to this, so I've very much been looking forward to playing this game again. I've also been thinking about some more PS4 games I might buy, not necessarily to review or do a bit of on and such, but I must admit I've had the PS4 for quite a while now, and I haven't really considered what games I'm going to buy and play next. So I've heard a lot of good things about the latest God of War. I guess if we didn't get this egg before, I've done some of this part. Well, sorry, when I wasn't recording, I should say. There's also an achievement as well for slaying all of those in a single go as well, I think. So I've been thinking, like, well, I might get God of War, because I've never played a God of War game before, but I've heard they're very good. I tell a lie, I have played them, but not for very long. I attempted to review them on the Greasy Game Show, but did very poorly. I had to use footage of an old friend, of old friend's Let's Play, Cycrius. He'd actually get me a lot of footage for my reviews when I couldn't record my own, which was brilliant. I don't know, why am I chasing after him? He hasn't got an egg. Anyway, I think we also completed this zone. Let me have a look. Yes, I got everything in here before, again when I wasn't recording. So we have done Wizard Peak, so we're going to do some other levels now. So we're going to do High Caves to begin with, and hopefully complete this place. Set the timer. There we go. And I'm also in the process of uploading the first part of a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy as well, so that's nice. But yeah, I haven't played really that many God of War games, so I might give the new one a go. It does actually sound up my alley. You know, I do quite like my Norse mythology, and I hear what the game is based on. Also, I get to hear "boy" over and over again, so that'll be nice. I haven't even played Bloodborne yet. That was a game that was on my hit list some years ago. And, yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly a big fan of the Dark Souls series and such, and, well, I've never even played Demon Souls. I watched Devon of Wild Potato Industries play a bit of Demon Souls, but I don't think that was really my cup of tea. I mean, that said, I have enjoyed Dark Souls 2, but only because enemies don't respawn after a while and I can farm them for XP, so if I die, oh well, I can, you know, get my souls.
Please do something about these green druids. They
nice and
insist on
easily.
holding everything in sight.
So yeah, I mean, I might get Bloodborne, but I mean, like, there's no sort of, like, apparently the emphasis is on parrying, which I really don't like. It's like, if I can roll out of the way of something, I'd rather do that. I mean, as much as I love having a shield and blocking abilities and all that kind of stuff, it's like with a sword or with whatever it is, the protagonist has like a bone saw or something. I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to manage so well. One of the most annoying things about this level is, besides the druids there, is that the platforms move a bit faster in this game. Now, we've got a skill point here to destroy the hidden painting, which is up there, which I discovered in the last part, but again, Elgato fucked up, and it appears as though I do get an extra life. So, carrying on that sort of Spyro 2 tradition now. So yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't mind getting Bloodborne, but I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. I mean, the art style looks astonishing. The visuals, gorgeous.
Squash them all.
Until then, remember
I might get it
makes you invincible.
just as a bit of fun. I mean, it'll be significantly cheaper now. I mean, of course, how can I begin to talk about... Wait a minute, wasn't that dragon, like, in here? Can't remember. Oh yeah, have a look at the symmetry up here. Disappointing. They've still got that sort of hole in the wall there, though, so... in the ceiling, though, so... I'll give them that. Supercharge is actually very effective in this game. I'm quite confident about doing treetops. So yeah, it's like, I really want to get Red Dead Redemption 2. The only thing that's putting me off is like the autistic levels of detail that the devs went to. I mean, and I say that because like I've done that, you know. It's like I've not implemented into a game like Red Dead Redemption as such, but you know, had an idea for a game that's like so deep and detailed, and then it's just like, but is it fun in practicality? And a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't really look fun in that regard. Oh yeah, it's one of the gimmicks of this level as well is that when you fall, you have the fairies to protect you, which I think is quite good, to be honest. I think it's a very interesting, one of the most innovative levels in the game. Perhaps not obviously innovative in terms of like the entire industry, but definitely in this game. When they're referring to them. Christ, these thieves. I got the egg before I died, didn't I? So I'm happy enough with that. But yeah, it's like Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, the story looks good, but I mean, I tend to get absorbed into side quests and activities a lot in games, so it's like I don't really want to be, you know, just spending a ton of time, like wasting even more time on side quests. Just see if there's any gems up. Yeah, there were. So I don't really, for fuck's sake, I don't want to be wasting that much time with side activities and such. It's like, I mean, that's why I sort of do side quests in the first place. The hunting looks, again, really detailed. I think like collecting bounties and things like that. It's all very good, but I'm not sure if I really want to, you know, be doing that in free time. You know, in a game like World of Warcraft, yeah, I'd love to do that because like I haven't got like a sort of like a main activity to be doing. It's like, oh, you know, if I'm waiting for mythic raids or whatever, so mythic dungeons or whatever, then yeah. Shit. Sorry, I'm not very good at this today. I must admit I wasn't that enthusiastic to record this morning, but god damn do I want to play this again. Oh yeah, so those fireworks do harm if we haven't seen them before. So you got to stay out of the way. But yeah, like I love like World of Warcraft to have like a crafting system like Red Dead Redemption, or well anything that isn't WoW's current crafting system, like ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, so many people find it complicated, and I'm not entirely sure why. And I don't mean to be rude when I say that. I just think it's so good, and I think if you give it half a chance, you will enjoy it, or you will come to learn why it's a good crafting system. I mean, for starters, it's usable at all levels, and maybe that's because it's a sandbox MMO. But I mean, WoW is, you can quite clearly see it's trying to become more a sandbox. Like I think since WoD really, it's tried to do things differently. That's it for this zone. Yes! Can use a supercharge on these dastardly creatures. Right. So now we're going up to, like, I guess one of the 3 parts of the level, where you've got these horrible creatures that are essentially galvanized spiders. They have quite a long sight range, well, apparently not in this game. Must have nerfed that. These creatures were quite fearsome when I first played the game. In fact, they are quite fearsome here as well, because I sometimes don't know where they are. Even with the generous camera rotation and whatnot, I can't... Oh shit, where's it gone? Now... Ah, there it is. Right, I said they're galvanized. They're basically just metal. So, they're large enemies as well. So we need to find an alternate way of destroying them. So we can't charge them, even though they're metal, because they're large. We can't flame them, because yes, they're a large enemy, but they're shielded. Slay that druid. Oh shit. They move quite fast as well, so I've got to be very careful. So, if we can't flame them, and we can only use the supercharge, well, I doubt we're going to get the supercharge up there, we have to see this fairy here, who will give us a peck on the cheek and turn us into Neon Spyro. Right, I must admit I'm not overly impressed with this Super Flame form. When it was first in the game, it was just basically red. It was just beautiful red colour. But here, it's pink, which I don't mind. I mean, honestly, like, aesthetically speaking, it looks gorgeous, but it's not what I think of when I think Super Flame. I guess they're trying to maybe go for like a sort of a white hot kind of thing. Like, I don't really... I mean, I sort of know what they're trying to do, but I just personally don't see it myself. I mean, I think maybe in development they had actually tried to go with the whole, you know, deep red colour. But it didn't work out. Also, as well, you actually get to see the timer there, which you previously would not have done in the original game. It's like that wasn't added until Spyro 2. So you actually do get to see how long your Super Flame will last, which is quite good. Now, I'm missing some gems, and I don't know where they are. But we shall have a look around. It might well be... Well, I mean, we're missing 20, I think. Yeah, we're missing 20, so it won't be an enemy unless it's... Well, I suppose it could be an enemy, but it wouldn't be 20 gems on a single enemy, though. But it can't be... I can't be missing that many gems, like, physical gems, though. Let's have a look around a bit further. While I'm doing this, I'll go back to WoW, because there's not really much of interest to say at this point. Yes, I really do enjoy ESO's crafting system, and I'd love to see it in WoW, and the justification that, well, WoW as a theme park game doesn't really fly anymore. I mean, like, since Warlords of Draenor, we have seen so many efforts to make the world more open. Like, look at level scaling now. There's level scaling. You can go to virtually any zone and be able to begin your leveling process there, to an extent anyway. You know, and I think even then that's going to be expanded upon by the end of this expansion. Progress isn't so much linear at this point, it's more just wide. It's like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a mile wide and an inch deep, because... Actually, I suppose maybe it is. It's like, yeah, you've got plenty of options, but all avenues lead to raiding. That if you want to do mythic dungeons, you're getting gear to get into a raid. I wonder if I missed any loot down here. Because honestly, I'm quite puzzled. We might be finding a critter as well. Although I don't think there's going to be many foes to face. Warfronts give you 340 gear. Dark Shore's been nerfed. So, yeah, It's like it gives you 340 gear now. It's like the 370. So kind of have to do, you know, raids and stuff or world quests again, which isn't too bad, I guess. You know, they're trying to keep them useful to non-alts and whatnot. So that's good. But yeah, all paths will take you to raiding, and I can't stand that about WoW, because if you don't raid, well, none of the attempts to get you into raiding really matter. Christ, where is this box now? I can only think it would be over there. In that cave there, because I can't imagine. Oh. Arse. I always miss these. Right, well anyway, let's actually go through the exit portal this time. I'll get a critter as well. I don't want to be attacked in the magic crafters. See if Sparks can get that. Yes, he did. Well done. I was about to say that dragonfly, then that butterfly there. So I do believe that we've 100% completed the level. I wasn't paying attention to any messages that popped up, but I do know that we've got all the gems there, so that's a relief. I don't think we need any eggs, not that we'll struggle anyway. And after this point, there's no more. And I don't know if there's actually any achievements for getting all the eggs in this game. I'll go back because I want to go over here this time to Alpine Ridge. But yeah, I've started to get back into WoW just a little bit more. You know, I log in every week to do my Hadraxian Waterlords rep because there was a time when I used to love rep grinding. I mean, I've never really liked it up until I started really sort of going for it, and then I went for the Insane. So I've got Insane on the Membrane. I've got Hero Shatrath, like, shortly after that. The Argent Crusade ones, the Cenarian ones I've done. But yeah, I don't like the sort of like Legion ones. I don't like the BFA rep grinds particularly, because there's not really much grind there. Like you are limited by your world quests. Like, I don't like how Blizzard says, you know, your game time is dictated by us. Like, we tell you when you log in and when you don't. If you haven't got any more world quests, if you haven't got any missions on your mission table to send your followers on, so basically send people to do content that you can't, for some strange reason. I've never understood that design philosophy. The NPCs seem to be having more fun than I do. This was a big deal in WoD as well, where they'd go on missions and I was stuck in the garrison. Again, fine if you're a raider.
Oh, Spyro! You're not afraid of those big, noisy, gigantic, awful beasts, are you?
Of course not.
Oh, good. I didn't think so.
So yeah, it's like, but like in terms of repetitions in Legion and in BFA, if you haven't got any mission tables or if you haven't got any missions in your mission table, if you haven't got any world quests, you can't grind the reputation. You can't kill mobs. It's not like Frostwolf Orcs Laughing Skull Orcs in WoD. I need a short hop for those, where you can just sort of like go to like the pit and just kill mobs over and over again. Yeah, they're one rep a piece. In a group that's actually not so bad though, and surprisingly there's a lot of people doing it. Like, now that Magar Orcs are playable, a lot of people want their Laughing Skull mask, so they're going to go and grind the reputation for it. But yeah, it's like, of course there's not going to be any other way to grind the rep though, because that would imply that you could do it faster than someone else. And Blizzard are really desperate to have parity when it comes to content, because God forbid someone sees the content and then unsubscribes from the game. You know, that'd be disastrous. But of course, if they did allow you to grind a reputation by killing mobs, or doing island expeditions, or wearing a tabard and running dungeons and whatnot, people would do it, and then they'd quit, because there's no more content. And then Blizzard would have to get their arse in gear. Now, I do agree that, you know, content locusts are a big problem in MMOs. I will admit I've been one at times. You know, I will simply have a single bite and say that, yep, I've seen all the content. But I don't think Blizzard have really helped themselves with this. Preach Gaming had done a fantastic video called, I think it's actually one of his most well-known ones, it's Accessibility versus Apathy in WoW. Whereby he basically got a character to level 90 and asked in chat what he should do next. So he did dungeons, he did raid, he did dungeons, because that was what he was told to do dungeons and LFR. So, that's what he did, acting like a new player, and he tried to be the worst player in the game. And he went into more detail about how he could be worse. So it's not just about you know, doing the least amount of damage, but also taking the most damage. And there we are back at the beginning. Just want to get these gems very quickly. So he started taking more damage and stuff.
Great work, Spyro! If you keep this up, you'll learn all the tricks of the Magic Crafter's world.
I swear to God, half of these characters are like designed by Blizzard's artists, because I mean that dragon is just clearly from Draenor. Draenei God, something, I don't know. Anyway, this guy was a pain in the ass last time. Might be able to get him. Shit now. No, caught a wall there as well. So it took me about 4 laps to get this guy before. Shit again. It's that slight bump in the wall. I think I'm getting closer and closer. I remember when I first went after this guy on the PlayStation 1. It's like I noticed that every single lap I was getting just that tiniest bit closer, and eventually after like 7 laps I'd get him or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, and then eventually Preacher seen the final boss, and like he's a very experienced player, been there since the vanilla beta.
Remember that these blue
Now that's the druid set from That's one of the druid sets from Catalysm.
as well. Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, it's like, and he's an experienced player. So like, imagine if you're a new player. You know, as far as you're concerned, you've seen the final boss in the game at the time. And all you had to do was dungeons, where you could do no damage. You could just basically follow people around without doing anything. And you could just get gear, and you could get a full set of pretty good gear. That looked, had the same models, essentially, as the higher difficulties, which require way more commitment. So I can understand Blizzard wanting people to see the content, but they want everyone to see it at the same time, with time gating and things like that. And people tell me that time gating doesn't exist, but I call horse shit. You know, it's like, no, if I can't choose to do something in a game, and the only way to get to that point is to simply wait, that's time gating. And it's quite a common thing in free-to-play mobile games, except here we are literally paying for the privilege to be told to wait. Do Crystal Flight. Yeah. I've got plenty of time. It's like, yeah, we're being told, we're basically got the privilege of being told to wait. Like in a free-to-play game, you pay to skip that time gating. But in WoW, you're now paying to be slowed down. You know, there's no way to pay to skip it. Now the music here has been lovingly recreated, if I may say so myself. I think the devs did a fantastic job in Crystal Flight. Visuals as well are stunning. I think I'm going to play shit. Things behind. Oh well, I may still be able to redeem this. I think my only complaint with this level really is the water. It doesn't look as doesn't look as like dense as water. It looks like vinegar almost. I think this is another one of those levels where the route can be massively changed up for way more effectiveness. Another thing I'm trying to do in WoW is Fangs of the Father, which is the rogue legendary quest line from Catalysm, because I've just done Dragon Wrath Terragosa's Rest. That was a pain in the arse. Just doing Firelands over and over and over and over again. Bloody ridiculous. Oh, shit. Right, just focus on the archers. Don't try to go for the plane and the gold chest and then the arch. Anyway. So yeah, so I'm trying to do Fangs of the Father. That requires me to do... not the End Times, it was Dragon Soul. Can't stand it. It's like I've tried to do Fall of Deathwing because I now understand. So Spine of Deathwing, because I know how to do it now. It's just a pain in the arse to have to go left, right, left, right, left, right. And even then I was like, well, why am I even doing this fight? Because I don't even know if I get my legendary quest item from this. I don't know if I get that like Elementium Shadowy Gems. I need 333, and like I think 7 drop from each boss. So how many weeks am I going to be doing this one part of the quest? And there's going to be another grind, and there's going to be another grind, and there's going to be another grind, and there's going to be another grind. I mean, I will admit, like, the stuff outside of the raid is very fun. It's like you get to, you know, sneak. Like I was skulking around Gilneas, I was infiltrating Ravenholdt. You know, I saw Rathian for the first time, which is just awesome. Rathian is one of my favourite characters in the entire game, and you get to see him in the flesh. That was kind of cool. He made a little sort of cameo appearance in Legion with the many deaths to Chromie and things like that. That was fun. I enjoyed his appearance there, but I want to see more of him. But I mean, like, only if it's actually relevant to the plot. If there's no point to him being there, then don't bother, you know. So we're going to be going to Blowhead, which was one of my top 10 levels in Spyro the Dragon. It made it to number 10. However, it definitely would not be in this game. Blowhard, like, sort of implies, like, danger, cynicism, and that's not really something that I get from here. Now, I will say that it matches the Magic Crafters world. Oh, I didn't notice that there. It does match the Magic Crafters world quite nicely. I mean, like, on the first reveal, though, I really wasn't impressed. Like, the graphical fidelity here is so disappointing. especially like the windmills. I just do not like the look of them at all. And I don't really like how they're lazily blowing in the background either. I mean, it looks as though, I mean, I'm guessing they're damaged. You know, because I don't know if there's only half a windmill there, or if it's supposed to look like that. But then you've got like the sort of, you know, the sort of wind whooshing lines. And I must admit, I do like how they're sort of very well animated. That's gorgeous, but again, it doesn't make me think blowhard. It doesn't make me, you know, it's like it's not the same as the dark and dingy weather of the first of the original game. It's like that's one of the things I liked about it, is that aesthetically speaking, it was so different and it made a nice change. And I think it even spoke to the sort of the dangers of magic. Going to sit here for 10 seconds because this will give us a skill point. This is one of the druid platforms that we have to ride. There we go. Blow hard, ride a druid platform for 10 seconds. Not particularly hard, not particularly skillful. I think a better one would have been to do it in a certain amount of time. In fact, if there was a time attack mode in this game, I think that would add so much replay value, in addition to, you know, the skill points, and in addition to, of course, the game just being bloody fun.
Thanks for releasing me, Spyro. You have no idea how long I've been trapped in Crystal. And, neither do I. Who are you again?
I'm out of here.
And there we have a balanced druid preparing an arcane spell. Seriously, I really do think that, you know, maybe Blizzard's artists, or some old artists, are now working for Toys for Bob. Which would be cool, because I mean, like, as much as I am starting to lose a lot of respect for Blizzard as a company, they have got a lot of very talented folk there. I just think they're woefully managed, and, you know, smug. I think that's the word I'm looking for, because they have quite the ego. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I think they've certainly earned a lot of it, but, you know, when they're constantly doing it, when, you know, and sort of ignoring problems, it's not banter at that point. It's like when GameStop tried to copy Wendy's on Twitter. You know, it wasn't really that funny, because they were still offering a shocking service, you know? You know, it's, you know, sassiness is I think hard to pull off, very well at least, you know, and make it funny.
Thank you, Spyro, for recovering so many of our dragon eggs. Hop aboard for the Beastmaker's world if you're ready. Would you like to go?
I think we've done just about everything. 3 levels, the flight and the boss. Levels 9, the boss. 3 levels, the flight and the boss. Yeah, I think we've done about just about. Oh, Alpine Ridge. We're missing a gem, or maybe 3 gems. We'll go back to that later, though. That's not something we need to do right now. The last time I attempted to record this, what I'd done is I went back to try and get some skill points and such, and just wrap up a few things. So I might actually spend, if we've got time at the end, we might do that instead of trying a new level. So going to the Beastmaker's world, one of my favourites, definitely one that I think I'm most in tune with. Besides perhaps the final one, or the Dreamweavers. I can't wait to see the Dreamweavers, who also made into the top 10. I mean, I really wanted to put the Beastmakers into my top 10 levels of Spyro the Dragon, but not entirely sure. This one, I mean, I'm tempted to say it would make it, but I personally prefer the original, Like, it used to be just like black and green. Like, this water was like black and green toxic. And that's kind of like one of the themes that they were trying to go for. Here it looks perfectly intact except for, you know, that person electrifying it. And I'm guessing this... I mean, I don't know if this is some kind of thunder rune, or if it's like a... if it's water, perhaps, that's filling the cracks that are completely textureless. I have no idea. Bruno is one of my favourite dragons here.
Nasty Nork is turning our swamp into an electrified junk heap. And it used to be so beautiful.
I'm sure it was.
Also like the detail on Spyro though when he was sort of looking around. That was rather nice. But yeah, it's like it's full of detail, but the darkness is missing. And I think, and this is something I've noticed quite a few people bring up as well, that it's not as dark, it's not quite as threatening, it's just, I mean, it's more, I guess, mysterious, I could give it that. But no, definitely not as threatening. You know, like, I don't really feel as though I don't belong here and that I want to get out quickly. But like, I mean, I could say that for all of these levels, though, that, you know, it doesn't match the original, but in its own right, it looks good. Because honestly, all of these levels look great on their own. I mean, perhaps except Blowhard. Even then, though, in Blowhard, I could find parts of it that are certainly very good.
Spyro, it's great to see you, but I gotta go.
I like that guy's design as well. I think these are going to have some of the best designed dragons. Now, I don't remember there's water around the edges before, because this used to be like I remember it being sort of like a hut. Oh, interesting. The mushrooms that there are. So there we've got Wild Flight, another one of my favourite levels. And oh yeah, this boss's zone. Sorry, this zone's boss, I should say, is a character called Metalhead. Bang your head, Metalhead'll drive you mad. Or med. Damn good fun though, but one of the skill points for him is the skill point for him, I should say, is perfect. I think, and I really hope to God that, you know, I mean, I don't suppose it would be too bad because the controls are so good. Charge controls, the camera, it's all fine. So maybe, yeah. I mean, it's not that Metalhead's particularly hard. I mean, I haven't done him in this game yet, but yeah, maybe he'll pose a new challenge. We'll see. So these sort of little runes here, they were originally just a metal surface that the characters electrified, and the Nork would sort of shock themselves with their own shock sticks. Gem there. Always at risk of talking to him automatically. And there we have the boss. We have a whirligig that's spawned here as well. However, we need to go up these stairs, and I must admit I do like the sort of little doors there with the sort of cockeyed look. It wasn't enough for them to do that with just one, though, was it? They had to do it with all the others. So yeah, there is a practical purpose to being up here, but we need to leap over there. The one there. Oh, hang on. Let's go up again. Let's see if we can make it. I have to say I'm very much impressed with the gliding. Oh, I just felt the character just bump up there and gave me that little leap that I needed. Oh yes, I'm missing some gems over there. I better go back. But first, let us open this crate. Chest. looks so good. I really could look at all this all day. I mean, I still prefer the original, but it's like I want to just stand and take in all the detail. I love that over there as well. The sort of the arch with the boar and the several faces on it. That's quite cool. What are we missing? Oh, we're missing a single fucking gem. Right. I'm sorry, I have to... I can't leave any more gems. I've already failed in my duty to Spyro. In that I left 5 gems from a previous level. I must find this last one. At least it's another chance to look at this place, though. My God, I mean, the foliage is really dense, though, so trying to find this last gem might be a bit of a pain in the ass. Gonna have to deal with this shit years ago. I think where it might be. I don't think I've ever had this problem before. The only gem I can think of is the one right in front of the balloonist. I don't know why I'm looking up. It's not going to be up. There's the portal behind the portal. Can't be on the temple stairs. I think it's going to be where that tree is. That's the only place I can leave because I haven't really looked around that much yet. But I think I just saw a glimmer there. Nope. Ah. No, it's the mote of dust that this thing's kicking up. That I can see. Oh, found an extra life. I do believe that every 10 critters you kill, grants you an extra life. So, but I mean, if you do that, then the butterflies might despawn, I think. So, you don't want to be wasting good health. There it is, I see it. It's plain fucking sight. I don't know if that one leapt out when the... No, it can't have been with the crate when I open that chest. Crate. What am I about? There! Hidden in the grass. Right! So, we should have plenty of time. I was going to do Misty Bog, but... Let's see how we do in treetops. We've got a good half hour to kill. Or thereabouts. Let's see how we do. It's a shame I can't really do any more while in that mode. Oh well. This is another one of the levels that we previewed. I just think to turn the creature into a gorilla, this orangutan of sorts. Rather than some kind of tribesman of sorts. I quite like the change. Sort of kept the characters, at least their sort of animations and faces especially intact. Very cheeky and menacing. Now, I tend to get a bit lost in treetops. Not lost as in confused, but like there's just so many ways and paths you can take, and they all lead into the same place. But I'd say it's almost circular in design. That you'll always end up at a familiar place. But I wouldn't necessarily say like linear in that regard. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing at all. But I think it is meant to be like frustrating and at times confusing.
Greetings, Spyro. For an amazing tour of the treetops, don't just stop at one supercharge.
Now, when the preview for Treetops, the full level came out, this was like the level that sold me. Shit. I could have maybe salvaged that. Never mind. I'm gonna have to try right at the top of my jump, because I'm not gonna try and be unfair on the game. Yeah, basically we're gonna go up, then turn around. So we're gonna go down there, turn around, and then go in that direction. No, it doesn't work any other way. Oh wait, no, I think I got it wrong actually. I think you're supposed to go all the way around and then... Well, we'll see. Let's just try and do the level properly this time. Got plenty of lives, plenty of time. We'll get there in the end. And if we need to spend just a little bit more time, well, we can. So with the supercharge, I can attack large enemies without flame. Even enemies that were like the spiders, which if you destroy them all, you get an achievement for. And the spiders in high caves, that is. So yeah, so you take the supercharge down here, you go down this way. Oh, you're going to see how fucking mental it gets, trust me, because I do intend on 100% completing this level. And you can also destroy those chests that normally require fireworks to destroy. You'll see how there's multiple ways of opening things in Nork Cove as well. Of course, the rope ladder there is destroyed, so this is the end of the level essentially, but we're far from done yet, and it looks as though we're going backwards if we go that way. Let's check if there's any more. There's a thief up there. Say, shall not escape us. Yes, Treetops when it was first revealed for the Reignited Trilogy. God, that's normally a pain in the ass to charge it. It's like, it looked spectacular. I could not dispute that the artists knew exactly what they were doing. The controls looked fantastic. Yeah, I need a supercharge to break into that there. Yeah, everything about it looked absolutely terrific. The devs have done a really good job with it. And I was very much looking forward to the Reignited Trilogy once I'd seen that. But no, they kept on getting better. Don't think I'm going to risk that jump just yet. I mean, I think I normally could in the original, but I'm not so sure with these glide controls. Still got a bit of getting used to. Thankfully, though, the later games don't really have anything like quite as ludicrous as this, quite as mental. Which I guess could also be considered a downside as well, is that they try to be more, I don't want to say inclusive, but the game's trying to be, I think, a bit more easy for mainstream appeal, so they want to go for more mini-games and things like that. That's why you sort of have the multiple characters in Spyro 3, that's why you have a lot of mini-games in Spyro 2. Because with this, all they had was the platform. Which isn't a bad thing, but launch date. So yeah, all they had was the platforming, so they had to come up with interesting ways of making the platforming fun. Now, you don't really have to do that when you've got a ton of other mini-games and characters to play as, but then you've got to find ways to make them interesting. But it's interesting in different ways. So, it's here where we have to do one of many ridiculous super jumps. I just hope I remember how to do it. Again, with the like I said in part 1, although I sort of know the route, the textures are going to throw me off a bit. Oh shit. You are fucking kidding me, aren't you? Let's try again. I mean, that could have been much worse, I will admit. Thank you for the autosave there. Sorry, I'm just taking about a pillar there. Looks very interesting indeed. You'd think EA was publishing it. Looks like the Sims logo. Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, Jesus! At least I'll spawn right in front of that supercharge anyway. Although I am frustrated by the load times and the death screen, they're not too bad from what I've heard as well. Crash Bandicoot the Insane Trilogy's load times are massively improved as well. Speed moves a lot slower for my liking. In the original, I don't think he moved at all. He just stand there. But he doesn't carry an egg because he doesn't need to, so he carries a gem. With the worth of 25. Or a value of 25 rather. So I just want to double check because I don't really want to do that again. As fun as supercharging is. Oh shit. No, quite a large turning angle there. That's a criticism that I've seen from folks as well. The sort of gliding controls aren't that desired by quite a few fans, which is understandable. I mean, honestly, I'm not offended by them. It's like I don't dislike them as much as I would like, for example, you know, once again, the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogies. You know, I'm not really bothered. Oh shit! Sorry, I was trying to find another way. Oh well. By the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy's controls. I mean, this isn't broken. It's not as desirable as the originals, I find, but honestly, I can live with it, you know, and that's rare coming from me. That's good praise. I'm nothing if not a perfectionist when it comes to these remasters. Looks like my stomach is rumbling again. I have to maybe go to the cafe, the greasy spoon, and get myself a bacon sandwich. Yeah, shit. Don't give myself enough time. No, I need to glide at the very end. I do feel as though I'm breaking my controller trying to make that twist, though. Loading times seem to be a lot faster than I wonder if it's because I'm closer to the to where I died. I mean, if you think this is bad, it took me nearly 20 years to get this right, so even just to discover it. I remember when I was probably about 17 when I finally bothered to look it up, and I didn't even realise that this was a thing. I mean, I must have tried it, you know, when I was young. And I thought, no, that can't be right. That can't be the way you do it. And it is. Right. I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm doing wrong. So if I go for middle, I'm not going to get on the platform. If I go too much to the right, if I go straight for the middle, leap, and then turn around, I'm not going to make it. I will die. If I go too much to the right, though... Yeah, like there, I was in the middle again. I don't know if I make it, or I just slam into a wall and I got to start it again. Start right here. No, I don't make it then. I'm going to try and jump a bit later. There we go. No, apparently that didn't make a difference either. I felt the difference, but... I'm going to try from the left, going to the right. No, I feel it was closer. How... It's going to be stupid, but just stick entirely to the left this time, and then at the end of the jump, turn right. No, I ain't going to do that. I can't remember how I did it the first time. I think the problem is that I'm too used to my own instincts. Like, I know how to do tree tops, but it's in the original game. It's not in the remaster. From what I remember, there was some people that were maybe doing it from, like, around here, like, in the middle. No. Maybe don't leave it at the very end. I may end up having to consult a guide after this part. I mean, I'm not coming... Oh, shit. What the hell did I do then that was different? What did I do that was different? Because I didn't notice. I don't know if it's that massive whoosh of flame at the very end. I don't know if it's... that maybe I built up the second level of suit charge. I don't know what it is I'm doing. If it's better or worse. I don't know how many attempts I want to give it, to be honest, because I don't want to waste much more time, and I want to get on with a flight before we end the part, but I just don't know what it is I'm doing wrong. Or what, not even that, though, what was it that I was doing right? Because I managed to get on there. I mean, this is the part of me that, like, this is the part that there we go, alright. Right. My problem with the second part is that I don't feel as though I'm getting enough airtime. I'm not going high enough in the air to confidently glide. But even then, that's not... I mean, if that was the part I was reaching, I wouldn't really have that much of a problem. But with how often I'm failing this simple enough charge, I don't know. Better. There we go, we've got it. Yeah, not overly pleased with that. I mean, I know it's my first time, I can't you know, the first time playing the remaster. It took me ages to learn how to do it originally, but it didn't take that many fails.
That was quite a ride, Spyro. You learned a lot since you were a young glider.
Yeah, well, you could have found an easier spot to get stuck.
Well, anyway, that's the level done, thank Christ. I suppose it was a skill point here. No. Yeah, I mean, that was my metric to sort of see how I would feel about the controls. It just... I mean, yes, I'm satisfied that I finished it, but I in no way feel as though I, like, know what I did right there. It's like, I don't understand how I managed to get it to work in the end. And that's my problem. So, no, I'm not overly happy with that. Treetops is not... Well, I would like to say that Treetops is in my top 10 because it is a beautifully remastered level. But that one part there... I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, to judge it on the supercharge alone would mean I would have to... I mean, it is just the supercharge. It's the mechanic itself, I think, because I feel as though everything was put in place just fine. Right, I'll very quickly do a flight and then we'll call it a day. Well, call it a part anyway. But yeah, it's like, I mean, I can't really... No. You know what? Treetops, if I had to do a Reignited Trilogy top 10 levels for this game, I would say that, yeah, Treetops would make it to the list. Even though the supercharge itself ruins it. Because that's on Toys for Bob. That's on the programmers, not the designers of the level. The level is designed brilliantly. The paths are in seemingly the right place. But the supercharged, I don't think, gives you enough boost to really not to be possible, but to be done in a way that I deem satisfactory, if I'm honest. Now, Wild Flight was a game. It was a level, as I said before, that made it into my list, and my God, it looks astonishing. And they got the music just right as well. So, yeah, lovingly recreated. I'm liking the toxic gloop there as well. Not really feeling those, oh shit. Those sort of man versus nature bits though. Especially when the environment looks as lush as it is. And seems to be thriving just fine. In fact, if we're seeing a level like this, I wonder what North Cove is going to look like. Because that's one of my favourite levels. But again, because the Elgato fucked me over, couldn't put that in the list. Or Twilight Harbour instead. I mean, don't get me wrong, Twilight Harbour, fantastic level. I have a lot more love for it now than I did when I was a youngin'. Like, that was it. When I got to Twilight Harbour, that was it. It was game over. I'd completed Spyro as far as I was concerned. Because I could not stand Twilight Harbour and the trials therein. Yeah, the Norks and the boats there look great. Yeah, I mean, the level looks gorgeous. The graphical fidelity is wonderful. That 5 at the end is really pissing me off. I'm gonna go to the old zone. In fact, no, let's leave it. Let's leave it until we get to the final lobby, and then I want to get that last 5 gems. Those last 5 gems. Excuse me. So, Unfortunately, I have to end it there. And I can't continue to record until the Elgato has processed it, so I know if it hasn't fucked me over, and I need to make another save and spend the rest of my fucking day doing that. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I hope you all have a pleasant time. Ta for now.